Well, hi, this is Jack Barlow. I'd like to sing you a little song that my good friend Don Wayne wrote a long time ago, and it was one of my older dot records. I always loved this story about an elderly gentleman that was happily married for about 48 years to the same woman. And then one day, she passed away, bless her heart. Well, the old gentleman, being a very rich man, didn't let that stop him. He went out and found himself a young thing to spend the rest of his days with him. They're sometimes referred to, I believe, as child brides. It goes like this. Sister Katie Jones passed away, and I went down to the funeral parlor to offer my sympathy to the millionaire Henry Jones. He was crying and trying to act sad, but I could tell he wasn't broken-hearted. That his mate of 48 years had just passed on. A few weeks later he came to church on a sunny Sunday morning, crowing and a-blowing, all puffed up and a-glowing with pride. And a pretty little thing about 19 was a-clinging to his arm. He said, "Brother, I'd like to have you meet my brand new bride." And his young bride smiled like an innocent child, shook my hand and said, "Hello, brother, how are you?" I said, "Thank you, I'm fine." Thinking all of the time, life has got to be sunny when you got that money working for you. That ain't no lie neither. Now here's the rest of the story. The next week I saw Brother Jones and his wife at the county fair, but his mood didn't match the pleasure in his young wife's eyes. He was leaning on his walking cane and complaining of a feeling poorly. I looked at her again, and I didn't have to wonder why. Well, it was on December the 8th when the preacher told the congregation that our well-respected Brother Jones had passed away. So I went down to the burying, and when the gathering had cleared away some, I walked up to where that young widow stood at her husband's grave. And she sniffled and she sighed and winked a big blue eye, squeezed my hand and said, "Hi, big